Hello and welcome. Today, I'm going to present you with an object, a very interesting object. It's a photograph, a haunted photograph. We're going to learn about its history, its haunting, and its secrets. At the turn of the century, a young woman named Emily sat for a photograph in her family's parlor. It was a simple portrait taken to commemorate her 21st birthday. Emily was known throughout her town for her serene beauty and her long dark hair carefully pinned, always in place. Dressed in her finest, her pale hands folded in her lap, she waited for the flashbulb to burst. There was a softness in her eyes that made people trust her, a calmness that bellied the storm that would soon sweep through her life. The photograph was stored away for years after Emily's sudden death that same year. No one knew how she died. Some said it was a fever, others whispered of heartache or even suicide. Her family refused to speak of it, burying her quickly and moving away not long after. The house where the portrait had been taken fell into disrepair, and the photo and the memory of the young girl with the soft eyes and dark hair faded from everyone's memory. Decades passed before the photograph surfaced again. An amateur collector of vintage artifacts found it at a flea market, lying among stacks of forgotten books and faded postcards. The frame, still the original brass, was dull with age, but the photograph itself was pristine. Emily's face, frozen in time, gazed out with the same calmness, her eyes as alive as they had been that day it was taken. The man bought it without hesitation. He really did not want the photo, as he thought it was not of value. Rather, he wanted the brass frame. But the photo of the young woman left him with a feeling of longing. Her eyes expressed some unknown sorrow. The photo was removed and placed into a bin of old postcards and photographs that would be sold later or even discarded. The brass frame sold on eBay almost immediately. This was a routine buy and sell scheme. But soon, things began to happen. Strange things. It started small. Items in the house went missing and reappeared in odd places. A comb the man had lost for months suddenly appeared on his nightstand with a layer of what looked like decades of dust and grime. His old clock stopped ticking at exactly 2:15 a.m. each night, though no amount of winding or repair could ever get it to work properly. And there was the faint sound of footsteps pacing just outside his bedroom door. One evening, as the man was sitting in his office, a sharp coldness filled the room. His breath came out in foggy puffs, though the fireplace crackled with flames. He glanced around to see that the photograph of Emily was on a shelf, resting against a wall on full display. Emily's expression had changed. The calm serenity in her eyes had vanished. It was replaced by something darker, something restless. Over the following weeks, the disturbances intensified. The man would wake up in the middle of the night to the sound of whispering, though the words were unintelligible. Shadows flickered across the walls, and once he thought he saw a woman's figure standing at the foot of his bed, the hair loose and her face obscured. Terrified, the man researched the history of the photograph and traced it back to where he had bought it. He found a record of Emily's life, but no answers about her death. All he learned was that before Emily's sudden passing, her fiancé, whom she had been set to marry, vanished without a trace the morning of their set vows. Rumors swirled that he had fled, unable for some reason to marry the young girl. But some said he had been mad and took his own life. Others claimed that Emily, finding out that her fiancé was seeing another woman and not willing to marry, took his life, and then perhaps her own. It was then that he realized that Emily's spirit was tied somehow to this photograph, her unfinished business haunting whoever possessed it. But what did she want? One night, desperate and sleepless, he sat before the photograph, staring into Emily's eyes. He whispered her name, asking what she needed. The house fell silent, and for a moment, there was nothing but the sound of the rain against the windows. Then, as if moved by an unseen hand, the photograph tipped forward and fell. The phone rang, startling him. On the other end of the line was a librarian who was helping him discover the history of Emily. She excused her late call, but was excited to share that she had located Emily's gravesite and that she found a book with a letter written from Emily folded inside. It was a love letter written by Emily to her fiancé on the eve of their wedding. The words spoke of her excitement, her joy, but also her fear. Fear that he would leave her, that something would come between them.
I hope to plead my pardon and to procure me your pity. I have long tenderly loved since many summers ago and adore you with the utmost fondness, but, till this moment, could never resolve to see our hearts in true marriage on account of the inequality of our situations. But on the morrow I will be yours in truth. My love and passion is at once ardent and sincere, and I fear something horrible dwelling within my heart and mind. My hands tremble and my words fall to floor without meaning. My appetite is lost and my temperature and nervousness is not level. I know our hearts are meant to be in eternity, but I see not just the morrow, but many engulfed in darkness. I know thou wishes me to not speak in such terms, but it aches my mind so. May I then implore you to consult your own heart, and, should this assertion of my fervent and honourable passion of our future be held to you in earnest and with question, answer me simply. Help me, my dear, and answer me at once, for I do not know how many hours I can endure before I become yours under God himself. Yours devotedly, Emily.
At the bottom, in a shaky scrawl, were the final words.
I will wait for you, forever, if I must.
He realized then that Emily's spirit wasn't seeking revenge or solace. It was waiting for her lost love. She was perhaps trapped in the photograph now for over a century, bound by the promise she had made on the last night of her life. The photograph is now in my collection, and those that come in contact with it or stare into Emily's eyes feel a presence there, watching, waiting for someone to love her for eternity. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so that way you don't miss any future videos. Please also share this video with friends and family. It really helps. We would also love to hear from you. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Until next time, take care.